Hey, howdy, hey, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Disney Night Live. It's April 5th. We got a terrific show planned for you guys. We want to let you know that with this episode and all of our episodes, they are sponsored by our friends over at D Magic World. So if you want to go check out D Magic World, dmagicworld.com is the place to do it. We have a little bit of a word from D Magic World tonight, and here it is.
Welcome to D Magic World, your place for magic at home, at work, or wherever you are. D Magic World, non-stop magic every day. Visit dmagicworld.com and request your favorite Disney music. D Magic World, non-stop magic every day. Visit
So that's our friends over at D Magic World. Again, you get the request music. You can let them know what you want to play. So please check out our friends over at dmagicworld.com. Our topic for tonight is going to be, if you were going to Walt Disney World and you could only ride 3 rides out of the 4 Disney World parks, which would it be and why? So that's what we're going to talk about. And I also want to remind you that if you're planning a trip to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Aulani, Disney Cruise, Adventures by Disney, or basically anywhere else, check me out at DavidPicciano at travelmation.net. I could help you get your show on the road, and I could help take the hassle out of the castle. So we'll be back. We're going to do our show shares, and stay tuned. Give us a few minutes. Be back.
Welcome to D Magic World, your place for magic at home, at work, or wherever you are. D Magic World, non-stop magic every day.
And we're back. And again, welcome to Disney Night Live. Happy Saturday, everybody. Hello, hello. We've got Disney Don and we've got Jim with us. Hello to Lily in Michigan. Hello to everybody else tuning in. We're happy to have you with us. Again, tonight's topic going to be a fun one because you're going to have to choose from a bunch of different attractions at Walt Disney World. Because if you're visiting in this scenario, you can only ride 3 of the attractions out of all of the 4 parks. So you're going to have to pick and choose. That's what we're doing tonight. So I hope you got your seatbelts on. You got a cocktail or something, and maybe get you through this one. How are we doing tonight, Jim and Don?
All righty. Speaking about visiting the area, do we have any fans visiting Walt Disney World right now? Well, if we do, the fabulous Miss Marie and I are going to be in Animal Kingdom tomorrow.
Oh,
nice.
One of those last minute things come up, and a friend of ours is in the area, so we're going to go down and see him.
Little Animal Kingdom action?
Oh, yeah. A little Animal Kingdom Yak and Yeti.
very nice.
Sweet. Yeah. The Yak and Yeti's always in the plan for that, right?
And, of course, if you're going to go to Yak and Yeti, make sure you get your Landry's card. You don't need reservations, and you earn the first time you use it, you'll get a $25 credit towards your meal.
Right.
And then you earn points. Now, those points do expire, so, it's one of those. The best perk of that card is you don't need a reservation. You get the next available seating when you show up at the podium.
Yeah. Nice. You can't beat that. Seriously. And you can't beat eating at Yak and Yeti.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Love Yak and Yeti. I won't be in the area tomorrow, but hopefully you guys have a great time.
Well, I was hoping maybe you'd make the trip. If you started driving now,
I might
it's
make
supposed
it in
to be
time.
91 degrees tomorrow.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not here. It's cold and raining again. Unfortunately.
Another good reason for you to, after the show, just get in the car and start coming.
True. Yeah. How do I get on the line with that? No. Oh, whatever. Not working again over here on my side. So, I tried, guys. And that's all you could do really is try, right? The dog sounds upset too, and I agree. Whoever's dog is barking, I'm with you. I'm just as upset as you
All
are.
right. I'm going to mute. That's mine.
No, don't worry about it. Bring the dog in. The more the merrier. Lily says it's cold in Michigan. Yeah, it's chilly here. Again, raining. We've got a lot of rain recently, so what are you gonna do? It is what it is. I'm gonna abort this thing over here for this stream because it don't work.
Facebook again?
Yeah, of course.
Looking at YouTube. I got YouTube up on the big
Yeah.
screen. And so we're live on the YouTube.
We're live streaming to my feed, and I shared it over to the group. So, people can find us if they definitely want to. And again, I've been working out that issue with StreamYard. And last weekend, they made me set up some live videos and show them how I do it. And it's funny because I recorded it live directly in StreamYard as a recording. Then I sent it to them. And they go, "We can't open the file." And I'm like, "I used your platform to record the videos. How can you not open it?" Then they asked me for still pictures, which I took, and then they're like, "We'll get back to you." So never a dull moment, right?
Yep.
Never a dull moment. But so I like to come up with these silly scenarios. If someone were to transport you to Disneyland right now, what would you do or something like that? So in this scenario, again, it's 4 parks at Walt Disney World. You can only pick 3 rides. But I want to know why you would select those 3 rides. So, I also have, let's see, here we go. I also have the post that I put up a couple of weeks ago in our Facebook group. Now that's Disney. And you can see from people's comments, like our friend and co-host Mike Blenkow. He chose Pirates, Haunted Mansion, and Peter Pan's Flight. He loves Peter Pan's Flight. I mean, he might be the whole reason it's still there at Walt Disney World. Like there's a Mike Blenkow like plaque or something outside of that ride.
Maybe he made them an offer they couldn't refuse.
Maybe they did. Yeah. Probably always wanted to be a pirate, and there's nothing wrong with that. I see our co-host right now, Jim. He said he chose Dinosaur, Cosmic Rewind, and Smuggler's Run. So do you want to walk us through those three rides and so why choose those, and maybe if you had to put them in an order, what order would you go with?
Yeah, all right, I can do that. It's funny, I was making the list again because I hadn't found the post, and the list I have in front of me is slightly different, but I know why I put Dinosaur. So Dinosaur is I don't know, it's become a particular thing for our family,
right?
It became a running joke with us. My daughter in particular can recite the entire opening by heart. And so it became a thing. Sometimes we'd get there and we'd be the only people there if we got there early. And we would kind of play along and just do the whole thing with the video. As long as we weren't disturbing anybody else, if no one else was there.
Right.
We wouldn't do that. But it's just, it's become almost a quotable thing for us as a family. Get in the car, somebody goes seatbelts, and everybody else goes use them. So I don't know. We've just got a real soft spot for Dinosaur, and particularly as it got worse and worse. I mean, sometimes you ride it now; it's an almost completely dark ride in sections. There's just a lot of people shouting at you in the dark. But I'll still be sad to see it go.
Yeah, definitely.
Cosmic Rewind. I know this is not a favorite of yours, David, because of the spinning, but I don't know, pure joy. I mean, I think it's one of the greatest rides I've ever been on. Laughing with tears coming out of my eyes the entire time. An incredible pre-show. Love the music. Just love everything about it.
Right.
Other than the fact that from an accessibility perspective, it takes multiple elevators to get off it at the end, that somebody had the genius idea of designing it so that you had to walk down a flight of stairs at the end.
Right.
And they had problems with that. People initially were falling down those stairs. There were occasions of people getting injured because they were dizzy coming off the ride. That's a major,
right.
The multiple elevators thing's a little weird. But overall, just absolutely love that. And then Smuggler's Run, it's not just the ride, it's the whole theming of the ride. So I was all in on Star Wars since it premiered in 1977, and I saw it in the theater with my uncle in New York City. I still have the program. I waited my whole life to set foot on the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
To sit, I have a picture of me and my dad sitting at the chess table. I mean, I can't even put a price on that.
Right. Yeah, that's just gold.
And I'll have that forever. When the animatronic's working, because sometimes it breaks, but I'm a huge Star Wars Rebels fan. So the Hondo Anaka piece for me, there's just complete immersion. I'm totally sold. I don't even care about the ride. Just the whole pre-show, Hondo walking through, and then getting to fly the Falcon and do a bunch of stuff, and now they're going to update it again, and that'll be great. We just and we're a big family, so I mean we're a family of 5. Sometimes we have 6 people with us, so we take over the entire thing ourselves. We just have a great time with it. If I had to put them in order, that's tough. I guess for me it would be Smuggler's Run. Then Cosmic Rewind. If I had to replace it, see, Dinosaur is a weird one. So I could swap out Dinosaur for Pirates. So I'm one of those weird people. Like if I'm at Rope Drop at Magic Kingdom and I'm walking into Magic Kingdom, I'm going left. And I'm going into Adventureland, and I'm probably going straight on Pirates. I did that for years. Yeah. Right to Pirates, and then probably over to Big Thunder. I'm going from the left side of the park. I'm not running to Space Mountain. So right. And Pirates just being such a nostalgic ride. So it's like if I was going for a classic, I would probably bump Dinosaur. but that's kind of where I sit.
Yeah. And I love those three choices. I mean, I could tell you that Dinosaur is a fan favorite of our son Colton and Kim. They both have made comments about being sad to see it go. Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see what it's going to become, but it does same thing. It kind of holds a special place, in our family's heart. Mm-hmm. And I do it too. And I sometimes I even do it when there's people like other people in the show. Or riding the attraction or something, but I get so excited if I know a line to something, and Kim's like, all right, I had enough already. So Cosmic Rewind, I want to love. It's just the darn motion sickness that makes me, I'm not saying I'm not going to try it again. I'm probably going to fill myself up again on motion sickness medicine and wear my motion sickness band and give it another try. Because I want to love that ride, and I think it's really cool. But I also really love Smuggler's Run. That's a great pick. I'm glad they're going to be getting some new scenery, or the store, what you're going to be seeing when you're riding it. But the ride is so immersive. And like you said, if you got a family, even if other people that are waiting online with you join in, and it's fun. Everybody's kind of yelling at the screen. And so I love those three choices.
Yeah.
Just looking at some other people's comments that we have here. You kind of see a lot of the repeats. And then, some people are totally, just different with their selection. Shelby Flores Mendoza said Tower of Terror, Haunted Mansion, and Expedition Everest. That's
a good trio, actually.
It is a good trio.
You can see theming in that one too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Tower of Terror, Haunted Mansion, and even Everest can come in for kind of the scary ride.
Right, the backstory.
Yeah,
the backstories, right? You could see in those Vicky Hoffmeister Booth, who I went to school with and grew up with. Vicky, she picked Guardians, Flight of Passage, and Rise of the Resistance. So again, just three great rides. You can't go wrong. Somebody named Kim Amon Pachano, never heard of her. She picks Pirates of the Caribbean. She's got Dinosaur there with you, Jim, and a Space Mountain. And our old buddy RJ picks Guardians, Tower of Terror, and Haunted Mansion. You will see a lot of Haunted Mansion mentions in here. I like Jeffrey Coons. He selects Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad or Railway. And you don't see a lot of that in here or people choosing that. So I like the fact that he threw that in there. Now, if the Great Movie Ride was still in existence, that would be in my top three, right? Don, I don't know. Let me see. I don't
know if I can't remember if I answered that.
I'm gonna see. We're gonna find out right now. No, you didn't. Well, our friend Lily, who is watching right now, she picks Pirates, Haunted Mansion, and Soarin'. And again, you can't go wrong with that.
No, not at all.
Haunted Mansion is a fan favorite. It's mentioned throughout this post. I like Soarin'. I think that's a great choice. And Living with the Land, also in the same building there, also wouldn't be a bad pick.
Where are you on Soarin' though, David? Old Soarin', when they were running the Soarin' over California one, or the new Soarin'?
Yeah, I mean, I think just because that's the first one I experienced is the old one. But I'll take either, and the experience and the sense, like that really helps incorporate that feeling.
I was going to say the old Soaring to me it excites my senses more than the new Soaring.
Right.
Yeah. The only thing that, when the new Soaring, when you go through Fiji,
right.
That's great. But the old Soaring, I was like, oh, okay. The Orange Grove was always my favorite.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I like the Orange Grove.
Then the pine, flying over the pines.
Hi, Caitlin.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I love those. I even love the dirt when the elephant kicks up the dirt and just the smell of that. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I do. That Fiji, I may or may not have a product from a certain company that makes a scent called Fiji, and I burn it at work. Hello, how are you, Caitlin? I hope everybody's doing well. And that's a great scent from that ride, and it really does. I just love the fact that they use those smells, those what are the scent machines, right?
Yep. I can't remember what they call them now.
Smellitizers.
Or sensitizers, or it's a Disney invention,
right? Yeah, I mean, and you don't even know, like, if you're at the Polynesian, our friend Steve Seaford, who's the Tiki Man himself, he's got the machines they use in the Poly, but you wouldn't even know they're in the Poly or like where they are. You just smell that scent.
Yeah.
I'm just checking out some more of the comments. Oh, I think I see another. Yeah, Sandy Dutton picks also has Runaway Railway. A lot of Guardians, a lot of Tower of Terror, a lot of Haunted Mansion. Yeah. I can tell you that that's not on mine, but
the fabulous Miss Marie, she right off the bat, when I asked her, hey, what are if you only allowed to go on 3 rides, and right out of her mouth was Tower of Terror, Haunted Mansion, and then she was going back and forth on the last one. She really does like Remy's.
Yeah, me too.
So and it was a toss up between that and Mickey's Runaway Railway.
Yeah, I love that ride too. I mean, I'm really happy when we saw that the news last week, was it, where the fire in Epcot,
that was
behind Remy, but the initial reports, and I hate those false reports from a lot of these social media sites. It's like Remy's is on fire, and it's like, don't say that. Yeah. It turned out to be a walk-in cooler that caught fire, and everything was okay. But again, go ahead, Don.
There was last week I was scrolling through things, and one of the most notorious sites that just puts up clickbait.
Yeah.
Disney cancels all annual passes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even want to read it. It's like, I'm not going to read it. I'm not even going to click on it.
No, I can't take it. I don't know why they do that. I guess people do fall for it, but I'm just trying to see if I can share us out.
Yeah.
I guess I can't. Oh well.
So,
Don, go ahead.
Well,
give us your 3.
I looked at my rides, I was like, would I be upset if I could never go on that ride again?
Yeah, I like the way you're looking at it. All right. Yeah.
And I said, So mine are a little different. Of course, I would, if I could never go on Tower of Terror, yes, I would be upset.
Yeah.
So that's on my list. So I said, Tower of Terror, Flight of Passage, and the People Mover. Because if think about at night during the Christmas season, you're on the People Mover, you're relaxing, you're finally, your wife has run you all over the park, you get to sit down and relax. You've got the music playing, you have all the Christmas lights, you look down at all the festive clothing. I would be upset if I couldn't go on that.
That's nice.
It's the people relaxer,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
it is.
Yeah. When our son Dan was very little and we needed him to take a break, we used to get on Spaceship Earth. We used to call it Spaceship Nap.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we would get a break as his parents, and we'd get on there and he'd pull out, and he'd go right out, just boom. And my wife and I just be able to relax, and he would sleep.
No, it's kind of like when they're little, you had to put them in the car, take them for a ride, right? Like Spaceship Earth is very relaxing. Yeah. There are certain rides that I know they're famous at Disney World that people love to get their, cool down from the heat and their naps in.
Not that I love Spaceship Earth. I'm hoping that it gets the love that was delayed when they took it off the rehab list there.
Right.
It's still a great ride. And, it was also great for putting kids to sleep.
Oh God. Yeah. Let's see if I can share our YouTube link.
Yeah, that car trick still works on me, except sometimes I'm driving.
Yeah, you don't want to do that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. There we go.
You know, as we get older and the doctor starts prescribing these little pills we get to take once, every morning. Road trips are right now. I'm thinking, wow, I could only do a 2-hour road trip. I have to plan my road trip for a stop every 2 hours because of that one pill.
Yeah. Oh, I think I might have it. Let's see. No, not there. I'm going to give my 3 in a second. I'm just sharing out our YouTube link. I forgot to do that. Just too much to do, to be honest with you. I kind of need like a show secretary, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have one, but she quit on me. She's busy cooking tonight and making cookies, and she's also making a delicious baked ziti for a friend who had hip surgery. Yeah. So
are you going to deliver that and take a separate dish with you?
Oh, she made us some as well.
Okay.
I had some a couple hours ago, which was delicious. Not too much though. I don't want to fill up before the show. It's hard enough to get through this when you're old and tired. But yeah, I had a meatball and some ziti, and we'll see about the cookies after the show. Let's see. I'm just checking out some other folks' comments here. So not many mentions. Francis Murray mentions 2 rides that I don't see mentioned a lot here, but Slinky Dog Dash and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I'm kind of surprised that Seven Dwarfs didn't get a lot of love because people always rush to that at Magic Kingdom.
The thing why it didn't make my list is the queue, the wait for the ride kills me. It's like,
right.
I'm here for 120 minutes to do a 2.5 minute ride.
Right. Yeah, no, I get it. And that's why it's not on my list either. I mean, it's the hype and the wait is not worth the ride to me. Great ride. But
when I first started going to Disney, I had to go on every ride every time. I had to go on. I had to walk up the treehouse.
Oh yeah.
And not now anymore. I look at the treehouse and say, "Why is that here?"
Why would I want to do that now?
Why am I? And as I walk towards it, my knees start to hurt automatically.
Yeah, your legs start to shake. You get the sweats.
It would be a much better ride if they had an elevator.
like an Ewok village with the little elevator.
Yeah, that little one you sit in and go up the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Brian Krajewski says Guardians 3 times. He really enjoys Guardians. Rona Goodall says Big Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain. It'll always be that to me. And Tower of Terror. I can't judge Tiana's. I haven't ridden that yet, but I think for me, out of any of the, I guess if you're going to call it a roller coaster, Big Thunder Mountain to me.
I don't think that one's mine.
Disney World has. It's not, that was actually mine. No, I'm joking. Big Thunder Mountain is. I'm trying to think of the word for it.
Iconic?
Thrill. Well, Disney doesn't have many thrill roller coasters, right? So they've got Expedition Everest, they've got Big Thunder, now they've got Guardians.
They also have Rock and Roll.
Rock and Roller Coaster, Space Mountain. But for me, I think Big Thunder Mountain is the best out of those. And so that's why Big Thunder Mountain would be in my list of 3. I would also choose Pirates of the Caribbean and Flight of Passage.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Don.
I'm looking forward to the rehab of Big Thunder Mountain.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's still down.
Kind of excited about it. You know, I wasn't excited about the Splash Mountain to Tiana.
Yeah.
And even though the Country Bear Jamboree, I like it. Again, I wasn't thrilled about the rehab, but I do like it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I am excited for the Big Thunder Mountain rehab.
I just hope they don't make Big Thunder too smooth. So all the new coasters, the steel coasters, are super smooth. And what I always liked about Big Thunder, even though it was a metal coaster, it had that wooden coaster feel. The clackety clackness.
Yeah.
I mean, it was built in. It probably wasn't rickety, but it gave you that little bit of unease. And if you were good enough to sit in the back, take the back cars, which we frequently do, you could really get a great ride out of that ride.
Oh yeah, the back definitely gets you.
The back is awesome. The front is weird. The front, you think you're in a kiddie coaster.
Yeah.
There's no G-forces in the front at all, but the back, it's amazing.
Oh yeah. Yep. No, I agree.
I need to start looking on eBay and things and see if they start selling any of the props, or see if I can't get a piece of that ride.
Same here, Lily. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens when Big Thunder reopens. Now, will Big Thunder reopen, or is it down until they do the Beyond the Big Thunder?
I think it's down for a year. So it's supposed
for a year, right?
It's supposed to reopen in 2026. A year is a long time. I mean, that's quite
sure is. It's a long refurb, yeah.
Take a Tiana, the Splash Mountain was down for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when
that was a whole
Tron, if you think about how long they took to build Tron and shut down the railroad while they were building it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Tron was a long build.
But they also had COVID in there where everything stopped too. So
yeah, so you probably could have shaved off 2 years off of Tron's construction.
I think they could have still kept going. I mean, the rest of the country kept going at some, they just shut it off.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Lowe's never closed during COVID.
Lowe's doesn't close.
Except for 2 days a year.
Yeah, Tiana's was a total refurb. I mean, Big Thunder, it's not a full refurb. It's a.
I mean, they're doing a track replacement, so that's significant.
They are doing a track. Yeah, that is right. But the theming of the rest of the stuff that's in place.
I think they're adding some animatronic stuff.
Yeah, they're rehabbing some of the animatronics. They're refreshing the skins. It looked like they were redoing some of the stucco work on the facade.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, it's definitely in my top 3 because it's a thrill ride and I could do it. And again, Pirates of the Caribbean and Flight of Passage. There's so many that I tussle with in saying in 3, but Flight of Passage to me is just still the best thing Disney World has done as an experience. Now, I know a lot of people like Guardians and Rise, but I think Flight of Passage, for me, that whole experience of getting on that Banshee, riding it, the ride, the build, and how cool that whole thing is. If you ever turn around when you're on Flight of Passage and you watch that whole, you're moving. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
And then it's assaulting all of your senses also.
Yeah, it is. It's
surreal.
Through
the jungle, and you can almost smell the dirt, the wet. If you've been in a rainforest or a jungle, it's like, yes, that's what it smells like.
Yeah, my dad is not a big theme park guy, and we convinced him to come down and hang out with the kids and I 2 years ago when we were down there. So he came down for a couple of days, and we put him up in the DVC with us, and I took him on Flights of Passage. He was very quiet. We walked off it, and he said, "That was absolutely worth the flight." I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
He's like, that's the best thing I've ever been on. He's like, all right, that was absolutely worth the trip.
It's insane. Yeah.
If I do nothing else, I'm like, okay, cool. And then I put
Right.
him on. I basically brought him down there to have him do two things: flights of passage, and then Smuggler's Run.
And the plane.
That was yeah. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a terrific experience. I mean, the first time we wrote it, Kim came off so moved that she was tearing up.
Yeah.
And she literally looked at a cast member coming down those stairs and said, what just happened? What did I experience? And what just happened? Because she was still like she didn't get over the fact that she learned that we were actually higher up than she would thought. And kind of, that hit her too, but she was emotional from it, Yeah. So.
Yeah. We rode that with you guys when we got to the time. That was fun.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And it's a great experience. And it's even more fun when you can do it with friends. I mean, and you could fill that room up if you go with enough people. You could fill the room up and take up all the Banshees, and then really I always like to peek over and look at the people riding it, especially people for the first time, and see their face, their expression, and everybody's like Kool-Aid smiles, and again, for me, iconic Disney for me is Pirates of the Caribbean, so that's on my list. Same thing. I go to Magic Kingdom, Jim. I go left, and I go straight to Pirates, and that just again incites the senses, the smells, the rum, the scent, the just the animatronics, the originality of it.
I even love the long dark queue and peeking in the little, the barrels, and the little spots, and even the loading area, even all of it is just, I don't know. I'm feeling the ride before I get on the ride.
Yeah.
Right.
It draws me in.
Yeah. What about the skeletons leaning over the chessboard, and the chessboard is actually deadlocked? There is not a move, the way that is positioned, there is no legal move left to make on that chessboard.
Right.
When they were redoing the big Pirates of the Caribbean rehab, and they were redoing that area, they did not take a picture of the chessboard, and they're like, oh my God, how do we set it back up? And they tried. The Imagineers tried setting it back up the way it was, and like, no, that's not the way it goes. Someone, they don't know why, but someone flipped the chessboard over, and the original Imagineer had wrote the positions on the back of the chessboard.
Oh, how lucky.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the Imagineer's name. I'm at a loss. It's the same person that did the Haunted Mansion, and that's why there's chess pieces at the top of the Haunted Mansion.
No, not Marty Sklar.
No.
Yeah. I mean, from Pirates, and Jim, you said it best. Before you get on the ride, and sometimes I'm kind of upset that it's not a longer wait and you're moving, because then people are like trying to go in front of you and stuff. But I like to take a look in all those little crevices and holes there, right? Because you're seeing things that if you don't take the time to do that, but there's cannons and cannonballs and guns and all these different things that you could take in, and little spots. And then there's also, you get to the one point where you kind of wrap around before you go down to load. There's stairs, right, that go upstairs,
right?
I kind of just want to explore the whole area and take my time. Telling people, hey, just go in front of me, right?
Yeah. Flipping it over to another ride, actually, when you were talking about earlier, Peter Pan's Flight. So last year, we were there one morning early, and for early entry, and so we decided to actually burn some time, which normally you wouldn't go for that, but we let's do Peter Pan's Flight. And so normally if we bother to do that, we're doing it with some kind of lightning lane, fast pass, whatever, and not doing the queue. And I hadn't really done the actual walkthrough in years. The walkthrough for that ride, the theming of that ride, is really worth spending the time and doing and not skipping. Yeah, it's so nicely done, and all the rooms and all it definitely complements the ride really well, and I think it's kind of a lost queue in a way because people are trying to skip that just to get on the ride because the wait is so long.
Right, and that's the original intent was, you know, you were going to be here for a little while and take in that the time the Imagineers, you know, spent to build. And it's funny because we've never gone that route. We've always gone in the fast pass DAS lightning lane.
I can't remember doing it either, and it was just like it was empty. Well, it was an empty morning for that. I mean, there were people there. Everybody was trying to get on Tron and space.
Yeah.
And we're like, you know what? Let's go do Peter. And we walked through, and we're like, the kids were like, "Wow, I don't ever recall doing this." And we were blown away how nice it was. It was just sad to not do it.
And it always has a long wait, so you might as well enjoy the queue, you know, and everything that went into it. I mean, for like Seven Doors Mine Train, we had always same thing. We never did the regular queue, and then years ago, I booked one of those early morning Magic breakfast packages for the three of us, and they didn't take you into the fast pass section. They took you through the other, and we got to go through it. Although it was rushed because there, you know, not a lot of people there. It was still it's cool to see because people always talk about these queues that I never get a chance to do. Don, were you doing some research trying to find the Imagineer?
Yeah, I was trying to find the name of the Imagineer, but for some reason it just wants to throw it just wants to give me information on the movies Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
So
not the ride.
Not the ride.
Some moments to the ride. So yeah, I mean, no matter, I mean, People Mover to me is an amazing ride. There's nothing exciting about it, but you get to see a lot of Magic Kingdom. I love Living with the Land. I think that ride is terrific. You know, we had not done it for the first couple of years that we went, and then we did it, and we were like, this is just so much fun. It's slow, but you really get to see so many different things growing, and it doesn't always have to be just exciting too. That's Disney World. Like, that's what I love about Disney World. It doesn't have to be thrilling and exciting. It's just cool. You know, it's the best way I can put it. It's just fun to do. Sometimes it's fun to take your time and just do something slow moving and see things. And, you know, I'm just trying to think of other, I love Navi River. That's no surprise here. I love Navi River Journey. That would be high up there as well. I think the theming is really cool. I wish it was longer. I know people can't justify the wait time, but that would be pretty high on my list to do. All of Pandora, just experiencing Pandora itself. So,
yeah, I think the smaller, quiet moments are important.
Right.
We've always found that, you know, sitting and having a cool drink and people watching and finding the little out of the way places and the small things to do. You talk about People Mover. One of my best experiences on People Mover was one time when Space Mountain was down and they had all the lights on.
Yeah.
So People Mover's moving through, and suddenly you're seeing the interior of Space Mountain lit up, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then you kind of like,
wow. Video from the 90s of that. Yeah, an old home movie of the People Mover, and you know, we went through Space Mountain with the lights on.
With the lights on?
Yeah.
Some people get to ride Space Mountain with the lights on. I guess if something happens, the lights come on and then they're on it. I've seen videos of it, and I'm surprised that people ride it after that, because once you see the setup, it's kind of scary. It's like you know,
well,
it's like a park swing set or something like put together.
Until I get something done with my knees, I won't be going back on that ride.
No.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I'll have to get back on there.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get into the ride. It's just getting out. I just can't get out of the ride.
Yeah. I think we talked about this on another show, but like Space Mountain for me, if I do it, it's a ride it once and I'm done, because it's just too rough on my back.
Sure is.
Yeah, and you know, when we were there, and the kids were off at a re-ride, and I'm like, you re-ride, I'm getting off. I don't need a second ride.
No.
I'm done. One's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah,
I always come off hurting on that.
Yeah. Don't change the
Yeah,
topic. A little bit.
I hate
Go ahead.
I hate to think as I get older, is are my thrill rides going to be Mickey's Runaway Train Railroad? That's going to be my
Yeah,
thrill
well,
ride.
Yeah.
I mean,
Remy's.
Yeah.
I mean, oh God, I can't go on. I can't go on. It's a Small World anymore. I can't step into the boat.
You whippersnappers.
yeah.
Jim, you said you wanted to change the topic for a second?
Yeah. Things that are missing from rides and things that like, you wish they brought back, or things that are permanently broken. All these rides we're talking about, like, we've spoken before. Navi, it's like hit or miss. Is the animatronic going to work at the end? And that's one of the great things on the ride. I was actually fortunate. The short period of time where the Yeti was actually functional, I did in fact ride Everest, and I saw the Yeti, and it is amazing, and it is a crime that does not work.
Yeah, and I don't get that. I mean, again, you're Disney World.
Yeah.
Why can't you fix this? Why can't you either shut down the ride and spend the time to fix it, remove it and fix it? How bad can the issue be? There's got to be more to it that we don't know.
It's a structural damage issue, as I understood it.
Yeah. From what it goes into the footings of the ride.
Right.
That's the whatever harmonic or whatever was going to bring the ride down.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be a multi-year closure if they could come up with it. I think that's Joe Rodia said it's one of the great disappointments of his career that they were able to resolve that before he retired.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. I mean, that's okay. So
here, keeping on the theme, and knowing that you're a Space Mountain, Spaceship Earth enthusiast, what's up with the newspaper boy? What did he do so bad that they had to put him in the corner?
My understanding is his face fell off. So he has no face.
So put it back on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. Come on, Disney.
Let's see. Do we put the face back on, or no? We're just going to turn him around and stick him in the corner.
Yeah.
Rise of the Resistance has a couple of those. Kylo Ren sometimes works in the one scene or doesn't.
Yes.
And then the
guns don't work.
The
cannons don't work at all anymore, and they're not bringing them back.
I thought they said they got them to work.
I did see a video. Somebody put out a TikTok and said they were back working, but I don't know if they're still working, if it's sporadic. But yeah,
and that was actually a really cool effect. Moving in between and the guns going. I did ride it with it working. I did experience that, but yeah, most of the time that's not working.
Right.
I think I've been on that ride more times than not when Kylo Ren wasn't working.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Hondo Anaka too is hit or miss.
Never really working.
Everyone's attention is on Kylo Ren when it's working. Did you ever look out the window and find out what's happening out the window that causes that the structure to fall in front of him?
It looks like I thought there's a ship.
It's a ship that gets shot and then and gets plows into the Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, so that's why that happens.
Yeah. Have you ever been on Rise when it breaks down or when parts of it aren't working?
Yeah, it's a 45-minute wait.
So, there go the dogs.
It's all right. No worries.
So I've been on Rise where basically they had us skip the entire pre-show. Okay. And they walked us through like a back section and just right into the area where the stormtroopers are, the hangar.
Oh, okay.
Skipped though. They were just moving people along. They're like, okay, we're keeping the ride open. But the whole pre-show's down, and they brought people through like a backstage area and just like loaded them in from there. That was kind of disappointing.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean that's all part of the experience.
Yeah. One of my friends is a plank holder for that ride. He opened the ride, and he's like, when she goes down, we have to reboot everything. And to reboot everything takes 45 minutes.
Wow.
So, if you're stuck on the ride and they have to reboot it, they're going to walk you off the ride. Marie and I were in the hangar prior to it, prior to the ride going down. They actually gave us a choice. They said, you can hang out here in the hangar. You can take all the pictures you want. You cannot, and they told us where we could go and where we couldn't go. And it was kind of neat. We stayed there for 45 minutes.
That's cool.
And then they let us get back. They walked us from the hangar down the interrogation hall.
I could spend 45 minutes in there for sure.
Yeah. The scale of that ride is always impressive to me. You know, the room with the Imperial Walkers. That's just the height of it. That's just
right.
wild.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna bring this up. We could spend our last couple of minutes. So we touched on this recently because the news came out, but then again, we were talking earlier, unfortunately, some of these clickbait Disney sites are hinting at or saying Magical Express is coming back. That's not mentioned here. So Disney has announced, though, that new airport luggage transfer service piloting at select Disney resorts. So beginning April 3rd, which happened a couple days already ago, guests staying at a select Disney resort hotel, and we have the list here. It's the All-Star Movie, Music, and Sports Resorts.
The Value
Art of
Resort.
Animation. Yep. Art of Animation and Pop Century. You could drop off your check luggage with luggage assistance for direct delivery to Southwest Airlines at Orlando International Airport. Only Southwest. So in the past, when Disney did this, it was incorporated with Magical Express and other airlines were included. Nothing is mentioned here about other airlines. Nothing's mentioned here about Magical Express. They're piloting it. So,
and it's only one way. So it's going home. Used to be you tagged your bags, they showed up at the resort. Then you checked your luggage going home the other direction. They're only sending it back to the airport ahead of you.
Right. Exactly. Yep. So maybe they're working out some kinks. Maybe they're just bringing back this luggage service, leaving. There could be a lot of different things going on. Could it lead to other airlines both ways going to and from Magical Express, maybe in some form coming back? I'm not going to say no. I'm hoping it does, because I've been saying, and I think my predictions on the prediction show was one of the things I think is going to come back is Magical Express.
They are going to have to do something.
That's what people are saying.
They're going to have to do something to bring the magic back, to enhance the magic, and look over here. Don't look over there. We want you to look here. Yeah.
I absolutely love this service. When we in the days when we flew down, probably the last time we used it was 2019, and we did a spring break trip that year, and tagged the bags, flew down. Bags were going to the resort. Got a Magical Express. We were staying at Bay Lake. We got there, grabbed some food at I think the Grand Floridian Cafe. Spent the early evening at Magic Kingdom. Did a whole bunch of rides. Came back. The luggage was there. Same thing last day. Checked the bags onto the airport. Had a late flight. Did a bunch of stuff. Went to the airport. Picked up the bags back in Newark. We used to love this. It was
it's a terrific service. It really is. Yeah.
It extended your trip too, because you weren't doing the baggage handling. It was
the
dynamite.
Go hand in hand with that. One of the things that died with COVID was when you were in the park, and let's say Kim went in and bought a Spirit jersey.
She would never do that.
No, I know. That's why I'm using it as an example. And you'll be like, okay, we'd like that sent back to our room.
Right.
No problem. You can send it back to the resort. Now, they did away with that, so Dave gets to carry the 14 Spirit jerseys every trip.
Yeah, she purposely doesn't bring one to the park and then says, "Ooh, I'm chilly. It's cold in this store. Well, let's get out of the store and go back in the heat. No, I'm cold." And new sweatshirt.
And they said, okay, it's because of COVID. We don't want people in the rooms, and Well, now
No.
they have a person in your room. They do a
Checking
security
your room.
check.
Yeah.
It's like, why can't you bring this service back? Because
Right.
people are in my room regardless.
It literally just cut jobs and money, and it's a lot of other things that didn't come back. But I mean, I'm hoping like other people, and we can be hopeful, but let's not lead people on with this headline. As Jim said, the service does not include luggage transportation from the airport to a Disney resort hotel.
Yep.
Kim says, LOL, I hear you, Don. And then there is a blurb here. It says, if a guest flight is scheduled to depart before 1 p.m., they must drop their bags off at luggage assistance by 1 a.m. the night before their flight. If the flight is scheduled to depart at 1 p.m. or later, they need to drop their bags off at least 4 hours before departure and no later than 1 p.m. Guests can contact or visit luggage assistance for questions. So go ahead, Don.
No, I was just hopefully this is the trickle that will break the dam.
Yeah.
We can keep our fingers crossed. We expect the worst, but we hope for the best.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just little things. Again, even room service,
Yeah.
Grand Floridian is still, I think, the only Walt Disney World resort that has room service available. Is it jobs? Is it people that you cut, personnel, whatever it was after COVID that didn't come back. But when you're paying that much money to stay at a deluxe resort or a resort, it's still a lot of money. I just want some food delivered to my room once in a while. But let's be hopeful. And you know what, if it takes Universal Epic Universe to I guess put some giddy up in Disney, then let's hope for it. Right.
Yep.
Well, people like us, we're still going to go to Disney.
Yes, of course.
We're going to complain about the stuff we used to get and hope we get, but we're still going to go.
Yeah.
It's the families with young kids that are like, okay, well, we can go to Disney or we can go to Universal, but we can't do both.
Mm-hmm.
When they're going to destroy Frontierland, that will probably drive people away.
Yeah, don't do that.
They're probably.
I've been watching some videos of the DVC thing they built in Frontierland. They at the shooting arcade they took out the DVC lounge.
Yeah, I haven't been in there yet.
No, I think it's still kind of hard to get into, but I've seen people that have gotten in. It's just a lounge.
Yeah,
and it's
nice
a
place. It's a place to get a free drink, a snack, and some air conditioning while they talk to you about adding on points.
Right, and you can charge up your devices. Yeah, you get pestered about adding more. I just want my free bag of chips and a drink.
Ooh, what happens if I hit this button and that button? What does it taste like?
One thing I was disappointed though, I saw some vlogs and I don't know, maybe it's there and the vlogs missed it, but so it was a shooting arcade and I didn't see any of the guns or props from that incorporated into it.
They're probably they're racing it.
Yeah, I know. It would have been cool, like an Easter egg to have some of that. Maybe there is. I just didn't see it yet, but
it would have been a nice Easter egg to have Brer Rabbit somewhere in the swamp.
Isn't there Easter eggs for in Tiana's?
I haven't been on Tiana's yet.
Yeah, I think there is.
This whole time I haven't.
Yeah, I think so. If you search it up, or I've seen some vlogs, I think there is when you walk through some of the scenery. So, yeah,
I don't recall. We did get to ride it once. I'm not a big fan of getting wet. So
right.
That's a whole other thing. But we did ride it.
Apparently, like I said earlier, the temperature is going to be 91 at Animal Kingdom tomorrow. So, and of course, we all know Animal Kingdom has its own type of heat.
Yes, it does.
It holds a certain humidity.
Yeah. The only place that I can compare heat with Animal Kingdom is Toy Story Land.
Yeah.
Where
Right.
Animal Kingdom
Toy Story
has
Land is go ahead.
Animal Kingdom has that oppressive humidity and heat.
Mhm.
It's like all the foliage, but Toy Story Land is ant under the magnifying glass heat.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it sure is.
David's heard me say this. I want a merit badge for walking across Toy Story Land.
Yeah.
It's brutal. It's like, it's like a welder.
Yeah.
It's like, and here, let me give you a metal umbrella to stand under.
They give you metal umbrellas, and it's like,
Yeah.
but it's funny because you get to stand under a metal umbrella, and then once you have to move in line, you're out exposed to the sun. So it's you're kind of hoping to get back under a metal umbrella soon. It's almost like walking through a minefield and trying to navigate it or something.
Yeah, we avoid it.
Well,
just any way we can.
Yeah.
When Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad first opened up, they had umbrella stands all the way around.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And, Marie and I got behind these teenagers. And they would stay under the umbrella until the next umbrella opened up.
Huh.
Yeah, no. You whippersnappers.
And I looked at Marie and said, these teenagers are going to keep us in the sun this whole time. And they were girls, and so next thing you know, they would advance to the next umbrella, and we'd have to sit there and wait in the sun while the
Genius
line
on their
moved.
part. Not for Donna
Well,
Marie.
eventually a cast member come to them and said, "You'll have to keep the line moving, or we're going to take you out of the line."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yay!"
Yeah. I think one thing that we could talk about in the future on a show topic is Easter eggs, right? Disney Easter eggs in the parks, not just not hidden Mickeys, but things that we were just talking about. So that brings up a good topic, and then maybe the hottest areas in the parks, right? Like
Now, have we ever done sights, sounds, and smells?
I think we have covered some of that, but we can do that as well. Yeah. Yeah, we can get into some of how they do those sensitizers, whatever they're called, smelliters or whatever. But
or those unique smells that we, when you get on the Pirates of the Caribbean, you're on that ride because of the smell.
Oh yeah, definitely.
When you get into It's a Small World and you smell that chlorine, you're like, yep, it's a small world.
Well, that's what I like about these shows is like during the show, sometimes new topics just pop up, and then I'm like, yay, I have a topic for the next weekend. So,
well, next week you're doing Star Wars.
Well, I think we might talk about. So last weekend during the show, we got off track, but we were talking about all the things Hollywood Studios used to have Star Wars wise, and what they've taken away, and started going through it, and it's a long list of items that
they had that whole week in May.
Yeah, so they had Star Wars weekends, and so
they brought out the cat. They had the parade. They had
that's what we're going to talk about probably next weekend. So
I'll be sorry to miss it if I'm gigging.
Yeah, well, yeah, and maybe we can hold it off. Maybe we'll do another show. This way, we have all the people who were on last week's show to talk about it. But for this show, again, I want to remind people once again, D Magic World, our sponsor, to check them out. I love this. I got some MP3s from Jasper, who runs D Magic World.
Welcome to D Magic World, your place for magic at home, at work, or wherever you are. D Magic World, non-stop magic every day.
I'm not hearing anything.
Nobody heard anything?
I heard it.
Oh,
okay.
Huh. So it was done.
It's just me.
Yep. But check out dmagicworld.com. I see a comment here. Thanks again for another great show. Lily, thank you for joining us again, Lily. Always happy to have you. And with that, I hope that everyone has a great rest of your weekend. Thank you to Don and Jim for joining me tonight in our Disney Night Live. And we shall see everybody next weekend at 8 p.m. Eastern Saturday. So have a good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Aloha.
Bye.